The top stories: Parkinson teachers opt out of marking boycott, man surrenders to police in stabbing death case, and Fidel Edwards gets a county gig. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, March the 31st, 2015.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
Count the teachers at Parkinson Memorial out of the trade union-led boycott of marking CXC school-based assessments. Parkinson Principal Jeff Brooms told reporters that all the teachers had communicated their decision to do the marking during a meeting on Monday. The Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, which is behind the boycott, is pushing for payment for marking the SBAs, which are assessed by classroom teachers and are combined with traditional exams, which are marked externally.
We at the school certainly see SBAs as an extension of our job. It defines our jobs. I am very clear in my mind that SBAs are not done for CXC. I don't ever use that term when dealing with SBAs. When CXC wants to do something for them, they engage them and they pay them. That's why they engage. People apply and work for CXC. They do it in terms of orals, Spanish and French orals, and they pay them. I got a list on this morning, the teachers from my school that CXC would be engaging to do a purpose. People write something to them every year to correct CXC papers. They go to Jamaica or Trinidad or wherever, and they leave early. The Ministry of Education gives them time to go, and still pay them when they out, and they go work for CXC. SBAs, as far as I'm concerned, is a continuation of the continuous assessment process, and clearly assessment is part of our duty. Instruction is, classroom management is, and so is assessment. And I have no doubts in my mind about that.
Mr. Brooms queried why Barbadian students should be the only ones to suffer as a result of a boycott when there were more than 20 CXC countries. Meanwhile, the BSTU, which says the SBAs are a lot of work, is claiming that the Ministry of Education and some principals are using bullying tactics against teachers to get them to ignore the union on the issue. Police say a man is in custody in connection with Monday's stabbing death of Erskine Gunning of Paddock Road in St. Michael. They say the man, who was not named up to broadcast time, turned himself in accompanied by a lawyer. It is believed that Mr. Gunning, who was 41, was fatally stabbed during an argument at Paradise Village in Christchurch. His mother, Margaret, described him as a family-oriented man who was very helpful. Now to a call for residents to be more vigilant and to look out for each other after two homes were forcibly entered this week, one at gunpoint. Two armed and neatly dressed men forced their way into a Frere Pilgrim Christchurch home around 9 o'clock on Monday morning. An hour later, two men fitting a similar description held the residents of Wanstead and searched his property for money and valuables. Police have not confirmed whether the two incidents are connected. Commerce Minister Domville Innes, who lives within meters of where the intruders struck in St. James, said such actions should not be tolerated. Fire has destroyed a small two-bedroom timber house off Long Gap in St. Michael. Firefighters said they found the house engulfed by flames and were unable to save any of the contents. A representative of the owner said the house, which was not insured, was illegally occupied. Two other houses were damaged. Minister of Education Ronald Jones is backing Prime Minister Frundle Stewart's plan for Barbados to become a republic. Mr. Jones used a branch meeting in the PM's St. Michael's South constituency to set out his position.
Reading the paper today, one of the publications, and there were people saying and asking, if we become a republic, who's going to give us food? And I was saying, like, okay, half crazy, foolish people, I'm going to behave myself. Now we have in the world There was a time that we fed ourselves everything. Just go back to the Second World War. As a nation, we fed ourselves, of course, some rice chicken because we don't produce rice, but yams, potatoes, edibles, peas, bananas, breadfruit.
Entertainers joined mourners on Monday in saying goodbye to Calypsonian Michael Director Ford at the Colombo Rock Church of the Nazarene. Mr. Ford was best known for his 1985 hit Seaweed. Eulogist Judy Maynard remembered him as a gifted artist who loved life and laughter. Up next is the weekly commentary with Hayden Gill.
It seems that most of Barbados' East Coast beaches have been blanketed in sargassum seaweed. Reports indicate it is as deep as 6 feet in some areas, and some beaches have been virtually cut off. Householders in these areas have been suffering through the stench as it rots, and the problem is worsening daily. This is a perfect opportunity for some entrepreneurs to start new business. Sargassum is rich in nutrients and is a cheap source of fertilizer for farming. As a raw material, it is readily available in even greater quantities than before, and processing is a simple process. It can be dry packaged and sold. It can also be grounded and used in soluble form. There's a market for sargassum. The question is, who will take advantage of what is washing up on our shores?
In sport, Barbadian pacer Fidel Edwards is signed to play for Hampshire Cricket Club for the second part of the English county season. The 33-year-old will be available to play in all formats of the game and will arrive in time for Hampshire's first match in the One Day Cup on July the 22nd. The pacer, who hasn't played for the West Indies since 2012, says he's delighted to follow in the Hampshire footsteps of Malcolm Marshall and Gordon Greenidge. And finally, an analysis of wills in Britain over half a century has revealed some hilarious bequests. For instance, a husband left his wife just 1 farthing, which was a quarter of a penny in its time, after she branded him a rotten old pig because he broke wind. Another man promised his £26,000 life savings to Jesus Christ, but only if he could prove his identity. And a woman left her hated brother-in-law cash so he could buy a rope because she wanted him to hang himself. The bequests are detailed in a list of extraordinary wills unearthed by London-based genealogy firm Fraser and Fraser. And that's Nation News for Tuesday. For more, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. And remember to pick up your Midweek Nation on Wednesday or subscribe to our e-paper.